Good morning, everybody. My name is Shannon. This is Cosmic Goddess Healing. Welcome in to my beautiful divine feminines, my divine masculines, my star seeds, my soul tribe. Welcome in. I had so much fun last night filming with Rachel. If you guys didn't watch it yet, please go check it out. I wanted to try something different. Rachel and I have been talking about having a channel together for a really long time. Rachel is like she's my soul sister. I just adore her so much. We've definitely had past lives together. I did a Reiki session on her once. And I picked up we were natives together. You know, she was a warrior, strong warrior, and I was a medicine woman, and we had a very connected life. Um, and it's crazy. And I've always felt this bond with Rachel, and I've always felt a desire to co-create with her. So it was just magical last night to have her come over. And then, of course, my ring light breaks. The whole stand fell over and broke apart. So if you could only see it right now, I've duct taped the crap out of it just to get it to work until the new light I've ordered comes tomorrow. But you know what? I made it work. So yeah, go check that reading out if you haven't. It was a really cool. I re-listened to it after she left, and like it's just crazy how smoothly her and I bounced off each other. There was no awkwardness. Rachel is learning to tap into her intuitive gifts. And I'm hoping that we can try and do this once a week, her and I, where we film something together just to change it up a little bit. And she really did bring a fresh perspective and a fresh energy yesterday to my reading. So thank you, Rachel, if you're watching this video. I love you, my soul sister. Thank you so much. And I'm so excited to see what we create together. But this morning, I was feeling very drawn to my starseed decks this morning, or I should say Rebecca Campbell's decks, because this one isn't necessarily a starseed deck. It still feels like that, but it's not. So I was guided to go to the Starseed Oracle today, the Work Your Light Oracle, and then oddly enough, I have been feeling this morning like somebody's loved one is trying to come through. It feels like a husband, a male energy. It's funny, the face that I see in my mind right now is like a very bushy uh, mustache with a lot more gray than black. It's a kind of a salt and pepper, but I would say the gray is more prominent in this very bushy mustache. Um, I think I'm seeing glasses, but I don't know if he wore these glasses all the time, kind of a squared shape of glasses, a little bit of balding on the top, but I'm seeing like mostly gray hair as well. And it feels like a husband coming through. So I did feel guided to pull one card from the Talking to Heaven. I feel like I'm just going to throw that in at the end because whoever this message is for, your loved one wanted me to pull this, and it's one card. I shuffled a few times, only one card came out. I did flip it over and look. It's a very beautiful message too. So I chose to keep it. Now I did do a pre-shuffle because in essence of saving time, I haven't looked at the other cards. I only looked at the Talking to Heaven card. Um, and it was so beautiful. So I kept it, and I'm going to throw it in at the end. So please stick through the video because I have a feeling whoever this husband is that's passed on, um, they want you to hear this whole message. So let's get into it, guys. So the cards that have come out in the Starseed Oracle deck are Fall into My Arms, Surrender, Holding the Opposites, the Extremes of Life. The next card out is Messenger, Serious Energy, Bringing Harmony and Balance. The Seas of Mintaka, Seeing Potential, Bringing Unconscious to the Light. The next card out is Forge, Don't Follow, Pave a New Path, Be the Leader You Wish You Had. The next card out is loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. What I'm picking up on, and it's funny, even when I was shuffling the cards, I was already sort of tapping in and feeling an energy. But to me, this feels like somebody who's kind of just waking up to their spiritual journey. And I remember when I woke up to my spiritual journey, it was really hard. And I felt this almost like longing to be home, home meaning heaven, with God, with source. As soon as I sort of tapped into this energy, this new energy, I almost like didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want to be in this chaotic world. I didn't want to be around the toxic energy of the world. I had this longing to just be connected to spirit all the time. And I think what this message is actually saying is there needs to be a balance of both. And maybe you've been feeling that way of like, everything around me is so chaotic. The world is so chaotic. I just want to be connected to source all the time. I don't even want to think about the world, but that's not life. That's not living. And I think you're being asked to be the change you want to see in the world. I just heard. And it's funny because I just saw a t-shirt that I saw another person on YouTube wearing the other day, and that just came into my mind. I think this card, this message is trying to tell you that don't wait for the world to change around you. You change it. You can be one person that changes yourself and finds your footing in your spiritual journey. And as you do that, you are actually helping change the world around you. But I feel like and I don't know, I just heard like maybe your coping mechanisms are like numbing out. Maybe you smoke a lot of weed, to kind of numb yourself out, because you think that keeps you connected to source. There's some sort of toxic or unhealthy coping mechanisms that you have in your life right now that spirit is calling out, because spirit is saying, these addictive behaviors, and it doesn't need to be drugs. It can be shopping addiction. It could be obsessive about people, obsessive about social media, whatever mechanisms you need to be honest with yourself and say, what are the coping mechanisms that I'm using right now to escape the world? To what is making me feel connected to source, and that I'm gravitating towards that, but it's not actually a healthy thing. And I have a friend that I met, through YouTube who shared something very similar with me, that, she was smoking weed all the time because the weed made her feel connected to source and spirit. But then the habit of smoking the weed all the time was actually like ruining her life and her relationships around her. So although in her mind she thought what she was doing was healthy because she thought it was connecting her to spirit or source, it actually was unhealthy for the life she was trying to live in the world. And it's about finding balance of both. Trusting that the universe is holding you, like that fall into my arms card, surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Spirit just told me to read it. So I'm going to read this card because I feel like it's important. So the card says, the Great Mother ushered you in when you took your first breath, and she'll be there when you draw your last. She knows how challenging life can be, that being human can be lonely and confusing, that the polarity and separation can be excruciating when your soul remembers the oneness of source. But at the same time, it can be incredibly glorious and sweet. So often we see things as either good or bad. When things go well, we make it mean that we're being rewarded. And when things are bad, then perhaps we've done something wrong. However, we're all here to expand and grow. And it's through the extremes of life that we do exactly that. You're being invited to welcome the highs and the lows of the human experience, to let them initiate you more fully into life. The agony and the ecstasy, the beauty and the bitterness, they're all important. This life is but a single breath in the inextinguishable existence of your experience as a soul. The Great Mother wants you to hand over your loneliness, worries, hurt, sorrow, fears, burdens, and doubts, to lay them on her altar, to fall fully into her arms, to remember that while these extremes are difficult, they can be magnificent. The more wildly the pendulum of your life swings, the more truthfully you can say, I truly lived. And there is a starseed activation. So put your hand on your heart right now. If you're watching this, place your hand on your heart. And I want you to repeat after me. I'm ready to embrace the extremes of my life. I lay all that I'm carrying onto the Great Mother's altar and fall completely into her arms. What a beautiful message. I don't even think there's much more to say about that. And the only other thing I want to touch on is I think you're being, again, called to not wait for things to change around you. And it was 11:11 as I looked up and said that. You're being asked to step up and be the leader that you want to be, the leader that you didn't have. And I do feel, again, this card has come out before, but you have some sort of connection to the Mintakan Starseed Collective. If you're unsure of who that is, look them up. Look up the Mintakans. It was a water planet of extraterrestrial beings that were very connected to that beautiful light turquoise water. So water can be a really important connection for you. And I do believe it's come out because the Mintakan starseed are connected to you and they're helping you on your journey. They're helping you break free of the illusions in your life. They're helping you rise into the leader that you're being called to be. They're helping you with your purpose. They're helping you with the balance. They're helping you because again, when you first discover this spiritual stuff, it can be really challenging because your eyes start opening, illusions start falling. Like I remember about a year ago, a year and a half ago is when I really started waking up spiritually. And it was really challenging because all of a sudden my perspectives were changing. I was like no longer seeing illusions anymore. I was being forced to see the truth of situations, people in my life that I had been allowing to stay in my life that weren't treating me well. It was like this veil got lifted and I saw everything as it was. And it can be really hard. It can be really hard to wake up like that and have to see what you've put up with and what you've allowed in your life for so long and how it's been affecting you. But Mintakans and starseeds in general and Mother Earth, you know, and it's funny. And I feel like Jesus in a way. Like I feel this card feels very much like Jesus energy. And you're being held and you're being helped to work through this because it can be really hard when all of a sudden the way you view the world just changes like that. It can be really like jarring. But you're being asked to trust that this is happening for you, not to you. You're not being punished. And you might be perceiving this as bad, but like the book said, it's your perception of things. We don't have to perceive problems as bad. There are opportunities to help us grow and rise into purpose. So there's meaning to them. So you don't need to look at it as bad. Just look at it as an opportunity that's arising, that's helping you to grow and change. And you need these things to show up so that you know what needs to be worked on. But if you're perceiving it as bad and I'm being punished because all this chaos is happening, you're not, honey. You're not. Mother Earth is holding you. The Mintakans are holding you. Jesus is holding you and helping you to see that these are all things happening for you. So to help you on your journey. Let me see if there's anything else that I need to talk about. They just want me to come back to these coping mechanisms. You're being asked to take an honest look at your life right now and ask yourself, where do I have maybe some toxic coping mechanisms? And you've got to be really honest with yourself. You don't have to say anything to anybody, but at least be honest with yourself about it. Are you leaning to smoking pot to be closer to spirit? Are you kind of detaching from reality and the world around you because it feels better to be in the spiritual realm? That's not living. You need to find a balance of experiencing the spiritual realm and being in the world and experiencing your life, because that's what you came to do. You didn't come here to earth to be up in another realm. You're going to get there one day when your body passes away and your spirit rises. You'll have that opportunity, but this is asking you to find some sort of balance in that. Find some sort of balance in experiencing your life here on earth and connecting to the spiritual world. And you're being helped with that. And you're being asked to make change in your life, because as you change, you're actually helping change the collective consciousness around the world. So you're being asked to be the leader. And I know you felt it. I think you felt this call to leadership, but there's fears, there's doubts. Maybe these coping mechanisms are getting in the way of that and creating more lower vibrational energy around you, which creates more doubt, more fear, more instability. So you're being asked to release these coping mechanisms. All right, so work your light oracle cards, the cards that have come out. Get grounded, empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. And that's so funny because I was actually going to say that fall into my arms card, asking you to connect with Mother Earth. I was going to say that if you're feeling really out of sorts and out of balance, go into nature. Go to the forest, go for a walk in the forest, bundle yourself up. I know it's cold right now here in the Northern Hemisphere, but for the ones that aren't and you can get out in the sun and the warmth, go do it. Go sit by the ocean or the lakes or whatever you feel connected to Mother Earth, go do it. Because being in that energy is going to help ground you. It's going to help balance you. It's going to give you the courage to be able to look honestly at yourself and see where these coping mechanisms are coming in. The next card out is the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Yeah, again, I feel like this is someone who's really waking up to their spiritual path now. Illusions are falling away. The universe is removing people from your life that aren't helping you anymore because you're being sort of pushed into the direction of purpose now. And in order for this to happen, universe has to remove people, places, and things from your life that are not going to be helping you along the next chapter of your journey. But you are being initiated, and it can be jarring. When you really wake up to your spiritual gifts and your path, it can be really jarring. And like everything feels different and it's confusing because like it almost feels like you're in a foreign body and everything feels foreign around you, because it is. But if you can just surrender that feeling to Mother Earth, to Jesus, to God, to universe, to creator, to whoever you align with, if you can just stop resisting all this change going on around you and just give it up to Mother, give it up to God, give it up to universe, creator, Mother Earth, you're going to get more into a flow state and just accept the changes that are happening around you. Don't resist them. Don't resist them. Find a balance and try to live in your life and be in the spiritual. The last card is Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Yeah, I feel like you have a very big purpose here. A really big purpose. You have something to share with the world. You have gifts. That's why you're being called to leadership. You are a pillar of light. You are a lighthouse like me. You're being called to step into this pillar lighthouse energy so that you can start healing yourself and in turn healing the world. This is very powerful. And I do feel like because you're waking up and because you're seeing the truth of things, your vibration is rising. It's rising. Okay. Before I get into the Starseed Tarot, I'm going to just share that card with you. You know what? It's funny too. This was the card I put on my Instagram page. You have the power to make yourself better. Like, I feel like this fits, and I was just told to show this card. You have the power to make yourself better, and you are. You're starting to wake up to that. You're starting to wake up to you have the power to change your life, and you're recognizing that you have a lot of spiritual help getting you there. So, the passed on loved one, that male, that man I was feeling, it says, I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. What a beautiful message. I feel like this person in earth didn't tell you this enough, but they're watching you now. They're guiding you now. They really want to help you on this journey. They really want to help you rise into the beautiful pillar of light that you are becoming. And they are with you, and they are saying, I love you. I love you so much, and I wish I told you this more often when I was in earth, in my body, but I'm telling you now how much I love you, how proud of you I am. Like, I'm so inspired and amazed at how much you're changing and growing and working through what you perceive to be challenges, but they're actually helping you. And this person is so proud of you for you not backing down from this journey. You're embracing it, begrudgingly sometimes, and maybe you're fighting and stomping and, all the way, but you're doing it. You're walking the path, even if it's hard, because you're trusting that there's something guiding you in that direction. All right, my beautiful star seeds, what further messages do you have for my collective that's going to be watching this video? Thank you. Okay, yeah, Four of Swords. This feels like a surrendering type energy. This feels like laying down the sword. You're finally just surrendering and accepting kind of the healing and the help from the universe. You're no longer fighting it. You're finally moving into a more surrendered state of being. The next card out is the Eight of Cups. You're paving a new path. This is you walking away from the toxicity, walking away from the coping mechanisms you were grabbing hold of so tightly. You're finally walking down a new path, and you're not looking back at these cups back here, which are, problems, toxicity, coping mechanisms, baggage of the past. You're done. You're not looking back anymore. You're choosing a new path ahead, and this new path ahead is going to bring in a lot of peace, happiness, prosperity, because you're trusting what you're feeling and you're walking forward, not knowing where this path is leading you, but you're walking it anyways. Yeah, wow. And the Two of Cups. And Rachel got these cards yesterday. So funny. This is union within. I'm not reading this today as a typical Two of Cups union with another person. This to me feels like balance again. And there was balance cards that came out previous to these ones, but this is inner balance. You are finally coming into an inner balance of divine masculine and divine feminine energies. You're finally waking up to how to balance these energies within you, and spirit is helping you with this by removing people, places, and things from your life that are not serving your new path anymore. And then the Strength card. And like Rachel, I told, you have a connection to dragons. Somehow you have some sort of connection. And I think we all have dragons that help us, but you have a connection to a dragon. And I would look that up, look up the dragon world, look to see which one resonates with you, or like Rachel, maybe a video will just pop up on YouTube that talks about a dragon. And that might be the message that you need. So just be open to this, because you do have a connection to dragons. And you are really stepping into your power now. You are recognizing your power. You are recognizing your strengths. You're recognizing that you don't need to lean on these coping mechanisms anymore, because you have the help of spirit, and you have this divine power within you that you can tap into anytime you want. You don't have to rely on these coping mechanisms anymore to just get through life because it's been so hard for you. You don't have to do that anymore. And the last card out is the Seven of Discs. And I'm actually going to go to the book I'm being told to go to the book for this one to not rely on the typical meaning. So the Seven of Discs, I trust the process of manifestation and know that everything happens in divine cosmic timing. You have been working hard and it has paid off. All the love you have put into your project will be rewarded financially. The success you are going to experience is not only for this current moment, but will also be something you experience in the near future as well. Manifesting things in the 3D world takes time, Starseed. Continue to take inspired action and work toward your goals. Don't get discouraged if things take a little longer than you'd like. Have patience and trust that what you are working on will come to fruition all in perfect timing. Yeah, I think because again, you're waking up to the truth of things, you're allowing spirit to work in your life, you're choosing to walk down this new path that's being put in front of you by spirit. And because of that, you're actually going to call in a lot of abundance in the financial sense. Whatever you feel you're being guided to do, do it. Because this is a confirmation that that thing is actually going to create the abundance that you've been seeking, but you haven't been able to achieve up until this point. So, what a beautiful message, guys. I hope this helps someone out there. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.